Hello everyone dear friends.
With you iFlab channel, and today we will have,
So let's say a few guides.
by Geometry-2 Editor Point 2.
I decided to remove it at the request of a subscriber.
Here is his comment I will put on the screen.
And actually let's start quickly in order. So the first is the button that triggers when pressed. Well, here to decorate I probably won't be here though. Let's here from such blocks. Here let's say we have a wall like this. And let's say we want so that when we press this button here, we have it wall. Rows. Up. That is, we give her group 1. That is times 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 blocks shorter. Take. Move trigger. Put actually at 50. Yes, if J10 it turns out for 1 block. And put some easing. Here now we see how it works. Well, normally put means here spawn trigger multi-trigger. More precisely no multi-trigger, do not forget. Let's make some more foundation, on which we will have this button actually. Paint her red. And we will do more. Green color here let's say. That's green color. And that's red. And so let's say when you press this button we want to have color trigger dyed her. Flipping. Here we will paint it green. Also put spawn trigger. Now we highlight those triggers and give them band 2. And means we put toggle trigger, that is toggle block mean. That is, it works on the principle of a regular trigger, that is, see, activate group triggers. And everything works for us. But if you don't need you to bounce, then you need to tick claim touch. If you want this block to work only one time. Everything. Now what you need. So the next thing we do is boxes that can be pushed. For some reason I flew a hide path. Boxes that can be pushed. And let's mean put. Here is such here and here is such a drawer, which we will push. Here we will put here, and this block we will put hide. Here please, now we have these other drawers. Highlight them. Put group 1. And we need a move trigger again. Put group 1. And we'll move somewhere on the unit. And here you have to put small amount of time. Here they moved. Now we use feature 2.2, this is press the create loop button. But we will not have it looped so that it looped. Need to go in that spawn trigger, which contains the check mark spawn trigger multi-trigger, and put here. And how would all the boxes start to move? And actually now we will do this physics. Go to the top spawn trigger. Put spawn trigger multi-trigger. We go into this trigger, he has group 2. It means we take a stop trigger. In it put 2 spawn trigger multi-trigger. We give him a separate group. And now we need state block. If we go into it then there are only 2 settings. Let me explain. When we let's go into this block, we have 1 trigger activated. And when we go out, another trigger is activated. That's just the same. Now we use this mechanics. That is put 2 here, 3. And that's all we have going boxes. Actually let's do so they were only pushed from one side. Otherwise we will also push them on the other side. And in general, we take this block and put forward a little bit. Go ahead. Here is everything. But to stand, the block did not stay still. He needs to give the same group as the drawer. That's all, please. We can push now drawers. So the next is auto build system. And let's actually explain. These are these blocks. Here you need to score texture. Here let's say I already have one score. Here glues, that is, let's say build. Some like this. Here is a square. Here's me highlighting all the blocks. I press create, and here, let me actually show you. In general, when you come in, you need to put one block and press the paste template button. Here you will have this design. You actually need to score it with these all blocks. That is, let's go for a couple. Show for example here on these black blocks. That is, we go wild like this. These blocks turn out. That is, here you are like this, decorate with blocks. Here's this whole structure later. Then you highlight her all. Press edit special. Click here. Press new. And invent something. Title. That is, then press use. And press the template button. The whole system remembers all the blocks, and now you can build anything at all. At least such a squiggle can build some. Then select create everything. But I immediately say that, what are these here corners? They are not finalized. RobTop is going to finalize them in the next updates. So turn objects in player hands. Well, that is how I understood. What does the follower mean? Here we have, for example, there is such an axe. That is, let's say we stand. Here is. Yeah. That is, we go to the right and the object also looks to the right. But when turning, the object starts to look left actually. That is, let's do this first. So that axe can't be assembled. Let's turn it off. Touch particular. We highlight it. Put first group. Then you need either a mug or shorter than any of these objects. That is, this value is where the player will press P. Now we need press P1. 1. And all we have is this here Temka. That is, we are going to the right. But how to make like this so that this axe turns when we go left? Actually, it's done very simply with the help of trigger scale. Press edit object. Here we put minus here 1 1. Time here 0. Press spawn trigger multi-trigger. Then copy this trigger. And put him group 2 turns out. Now we put 3. Then take the toggle trigger. So down below which group is third. Put means activate group and group 3. And below we put the second group activate. And yes, you have to put it first. Toggle triggers that activate. Trigger actually, because if you immediately put red, then you will not succeed. Here set. Now highlight all the triggers, and set spawn trigger multi-trigger. To all the top we give second group. And to all the bottom we give the third group. Then we will need 2 event trigger. Here is. Actually, group 2 we have. Will it? Right side. But group 3 we will have. Left side. So well, and that's where you put. Right side. That is, if you have an object originally
Then
to
turn
the right.
off.
Actually that group where we have. Where do we have the right? That's all we have flip. By the way, it is desirable to hide this cube. Here please. Here look what happens to triggers. By the way, I explain why toggle triggers are. This is for if we press several times on the right button, so that the object does not go even further to the right. So the next is ERS. Box physics from the tower. Good, but this is also done easily enough. Let's put 3 drawers here. Actually first will. Such and also for such. Well, it's like in for the north. Give them color to make them look prettier. All this box physics is done just as easily. See, we copy block. Press on blend by 5 units and reduce it. Generally it is desirable to reduce it by 0.50. Next, we do the same with the next block. That means highlight. Block give him group 1. And this is the bottom cube we give. New group 2. And it is desirable to hide. More precisely undesirable. So in general, then the center of the group is a group of that little cube. 2 but target somewhere like a box group. Put time on 20 and scale X. 940 yes. Well, that means we copy this trigger and ticked it by value X. X explain what this tick does. She's just replaying the moves in reverse. That is what happened. So no, behind the start it doesn't work. Something I did wrong. So I realized my mistake. I didn't put there. Need not by X. And so that means you have to tick here. Yes, I already FaceTime something, so sorry. Means we put these triggers, spawn and multi. Well, actually remember. That trigger in which there is no tick we give. Group, and that trigger in which there is a tick we remember. Actually. Well, here the topic is exactly the same with the state block. Put a group. Triggers in which there is no tick, and here in which there is a tick. And see what thing everything works. But if we only touch that block, then he will already do push-ups. You need to fix it. Need to reduce slightly. On the x-axis our state block. Here please ready. We do the same thing with these, only allocate 2 blocks already. That is, here are 5. And 6. Copy just these triggers. Here we put 6 and here it turns out 5. Cleaning up their groups. an 8. And hide this block too. Put means an 8. Here is everything, please. Here's your drawer physics from the tower. So, well, and explain the trigger. Well, what is trigger sequence? It's very easy actually to use. But I myself did not fully understand it. Warning immediately. In general, what he does, he activates the triggers in turn. That is, let's say we have a block. Let's give him a band. And let's say I need him moved a little bit to the right here at 10. Then for a time would change color. Wait, what is his color group? Then here is object. So here red. Skipped a little. And then to become just a little transparent. And to restore its transparent, actually. These triggers we line up in one column, in order to make it easier. To all of them we give spawn trigger, multi trigger, if we want to activate them many times, and each trigger we give a separate group. And it is necessary to build them in order. So you all aren't confused. That is, here we all gave from 2nd to 5th. Group 2, 3, 4 and 5. Let's put a touch trigger, and must be ticked multi-trigger. Otherwise it activates only one trigger. We touched him. Here we touch of this trigger. But why is only one activated? Because you have to touch it again. Here please everything, it no longer works. Now let's sort out all the ticks unique remap. I did not understand what it is. Actually that mod stop, it means that triggers you can only activate one time. Actual loop mod. It means something. That you can activate it well as many times as you like. Here is mod last. It's not really clear what it is, to be honest. That is, here is the reset full. It means when we touch the trigger, then he will activate the following triggers. And if we put a reset step, then it means what? First sequence activates one trigger. When he finishes his activation, he activates the next one. I do not know if I adequately explained. Under. In short, this is not a particularly clear trigger actually. Well, the last one for today, trigger. This is a user interface that is abbreviated UI. But what is he doing? He just can tell. Clogs the structure of some blocks, that is. Let me adequately explain. Let's put, for example, trigger guide that shows camera boundaries. And suppose we want to have, well, don't know, some hearts. Don't know, you can put anything. But I will put hearts here, because I have no fantasy anymore. To beautiful paint. Red 1. Move a little. So I mixed up the color cool. So with this heart, we give out a separate group. And see, there is such a moment that the fact that these hearts will not be able to catch the camera trigger. So we put a block. Give him group 2 and preferably no touch and hide. So it doesn't smell at all. And take UI trigger. Put means. Heart group 1 and block group. That is, here are all these hearts, they just. You can say that. Magnetized here. And nothing can break them. That is, here is everything. These hearts, they just magnetized here. And even no camera trigger in not will interfere. By the way, camera triggers I probably won't explain but they are too light. And even now I will show. Here you see nothing affects them. That is, they are all hooked here and will not unhook in any way. Well, guys, here is such a guide to the platform. Sorry, what about sequence? I'm not too worthy to explain. But I do not fully know this trigger myself. So sorry, only like this. If you liked the video, then put likes, subscribe to the channel, and with you was iFlabDay channel. Everyone, bye.